Good morning everyone and Merry Christmas. This morning we're going to be making chocolate and biscuits and I'm going to show you how we make it. I don't know anybody else that makes this except everybody in my family. Now this recipe came from my father's mother and they were from Arkansas. So as far as I know it came from Arkansas. Now I grew up in Mississippi and Mama was born and raised in Mississippi, and she had never heard of it before till she married my father. But when they got married, he told her how to make it, and so she started making it, and we grew up on it as kids, and now I make it for my girls, and we love it. This is not a healthy dish at all, but it's delicious, and we're going to show you how to make it. So it's called chocolate and biscuits. Now, I have heard of some people call a dish chocolate gravy and biscuits, and I've seen those recipes, but they're not the same as mine, so I'm going to show you how I do it. It's a very simple chocolate sauce. It's just sugar, cocoa, and water. So we're going to get started. I don't really have any measurements because when I asked Mama how to make it, she doesn't really have any measurements. So I'm going to put a few heaping big honking spoonfuls of cocoa powder. Now you need cocoa powder. This doesn't have any sugar in it, it's just cocoa powder. Baking, this one's called baking cocoa. Some people call it cocoa powder. So that's a bunch of spoonfuls there. And then for sugar, hold on, I gotta go get my scoop. I can't believe I forgot. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so for sugar, again, there's no measurements. I just put a whole bunch in there. Because if it's too sweet, it's okay because you're going to be putting butter with it later in the pan, so it's okay. Okay, so that looks like enough. So now we're going to put that on the stove and we're going to add a bunch of water. Okay, and we're going to turn this on low. And we're going to let this simmer on the stove for about an hour. Now you don't have to, it doesn't take that long if you put it at a higher temperature. But I like to do it about an hour because the consistency has to be like that of pancake syrup. That's how you want the consistency. You don't want it too thick and you don't want it too thin. So we're going to boil it. I'm going to let it simmer for about an hour and I'll come back when it's done and I'll show you how it looks, okay? Okay, so it's coming along nicely. It's coming to a boil. Now you want to let it get to a nice boil before you turn it down. But you need to watch it because if you don't, it can boil over and make the biggest mess in the world. I have certainly done that a lot of times and had chocolate absolutely all over the place that I've had to clean up. And Mama's done it too a bunch of times. So it's coming along good. It's smelling so good. It makes your house smell so wonderful. Because this is pure chocolate. And what could be better than pure chocolate, right? Right. So after it comes to a little bit of a rolling boil, then you can turn it down and let it simmer. So I'm going to let it simmer for about an hour and let it smell up the house good, and I will see you later. But before the chocolate and biscuits are done and everybody gets up, I thought I'd show you the Christmas tree. We have a pretty angel on top. And this is a fresh Christmas tree. We get a fresh one every year. We love the smell. My husband loves to put it on a table. So under all those gifts is a table. And instead of a tree skirt, I don't have a tree skirt. So instead of a tree skirt, I use tablecloths. So I have this red one over this plaid tablecloth. And I think it looks really pretty this year. And it kind of cracks me up about this tree because to me it looks like such a kid tree because there's so many kid ornaments on it that my kids made when they were little. Like the little gingerbread man my daughter made in kindergarten. I think that's kindergarten or her first grade picture. This other one with the star. This is my oldest daughter when she was in, I don't know, kindergarten or first grade. And of course, all these ornaments are just little kid ornaments. One of my daughters made that in I think preschool or kindergarten or something. And then my husband's aunt crocheted this pretty one. These pretty snowmen. I can't part with these. And then one year they had Christmas Around the World. You guys remember Christmas Around the World? It's like a party. You'd go to a party and order Christmas stuff. So I got gingerbread women and gingerbread men. And I love those. I can't part with those. And my husband's aunt crocheted that one. So, of course, I have to keep that. I don't even have all of them on here because there's just so many ornaments, and I just didn't feel like putting them all up on there this year. We have our candy canes. This is like a... Oh, I thought this was the reindeer candy cane. No, it's just a candy cane that our neighbors gave us years ago. Jesus is the reason, and I just love it. And I love this little guy right here with his carrot nose, top of a snowman. So, oh, and my friend brought me a poinsettia. So that was really pretty. I absolutely love that. Now, when Christmas is over, if you plant these, they make a nice green plant all through the year. But then in the winter, like now, the leaves turn this beautiful red, and they are just absolutely gorgeous when they're growing in your garden. Absolutely gorgeous. So when you're done with your poinsettia, plant it, and it'll be absolutely beautiful all the years to come. This was my daughter's very first ornament when she went to daycare. The very first one that she made. She didn't really make it, I don't think. I'm sure they helped her glue it and stuff, but I can't get rid of that, can I? No, I cannot. So I hope you guys all have a very Merry Christmas, and we will see you when breakfast gets ready. And here's a little look at our stockings. They're crocheted stockings. I bought these a long time ago from a lady that I worked with. So we've got Shannon's stocking. Shelby wasn't born at the time I bought them, so we had to go get her one later. And it is gigantic. And then there's my stocking, but I spilled coffee on it throughout the years, so it's got brown stains on it. I would wash it, but if I did, this little guy might lose his jewels. And this is my husband's, because I thought that was super cute with the beard on it. And we don't put them on the fireplace because if we did, they'd catch on fire. So they just get laid across the couch until it's time for them to get stuffed. So now it's time to see what's in them because Santa Claus came. Okay, so now I have the biscuits all ready to go into the oven. So what I did, and I should have had somebody film this while I did it, because I love to use this biscuit mix right here. All you do is mix it with water. Now, I like to roll my biscuits out, and I like to cut them. And this is the biscuit cutter that I use. This is an old top of a plastic bottle from when my kids were babies, and this just makes the perfect biscuit cutter. So I roll them out, and then I cut them all out. And then I put them on this, and so I'm going to put them in the oven at 450 for about 10 minutes, and then we'll be ready to eat them. So we'll see you then. Okay, so the chocolate is ready, and it's nice and thick, but not too thick. Now this is very important. What you do is you get your plate and you put butter in your plate, because what you're going to do is pour the chocolate over the butter. And this is very important. You must have the butter with it, because it makes it even more delicious. So you pour your warm, hot chocolate over that. You make a lake in your plate, and then I'm going to go over here. Ooh, see how hot and steamy that is? Now, I'm going to go over here and get the biscuits that I took out of the oven. See, the biscuits are nice and done, so I'm going to get... I like to start off with 2, and then come back for more. So you get your biscuits, and you put them in your lake of chocolate with butter. And then you cut them up. And this is how you eat them. And they're good. And then when you go back and you get more, what's really good is when you go and you get a biscuit and you put butter inside it to get it all melty, and then put it along in the chocolate with the rest of the butter, because, you know, you can never have too much butter, okay? So that's chocolate and biscuits, I hope you guys like it. It is absolutely delicious. We love it around here. So I've got to call everybody else to eat now because it's time to eat chocolate and biscuits. And I also like to have bacon with it, so I made bacon. And here's the butter. And of course I have to have milk with it, and I will have some coffee with it also. So Merry Christmas, everybody, and thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this recipe for chocolate and biscuits. Bye.